What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Sportster S, my really bad chest piece. And today we're going to be installing the taillight relocation kit to hopefully get this bracket taken off and have a nice view of that really wide rear tire. Let's get started. Alright guys, this is what we're working with today. A box and old-fashioned inspired Guinness ale. So we're going to, of course, crack this guy open without a bottle opener for some reason, because I didn't bring one, and get this guy opened up, see what we're dealing with. Ah, there she is. So, this is the Kimimoto kit. This is, like I said, the taillight relocation kit, complete journey of dreams. Wow, very inspirational. Kimimoto, they are making UTV, ATV, motorcycle, and boat parts. I actually hadn't heard of them until I started looking for taillight relocation kits for the Sportster S, and turns out I might even be able to get some parts for my Sportsman. All right, so this is the license plate bracket, and that is actually a swing arm bracket. Okay, I like it so far. I'm a little worried about the single bolt. Hopefully this guy rests on the swing arm somewhere instead of just relying on one bolt, but we'll get to that when we get to it. We've got some zip ties and other hardware, as well as everything we need to install it from the looks of it. Let's see, we've got the taillight itself. It looks a lot bigger in the pictures, not gonna lie, but maybe they're just some really high quality photos. I do like it. It looks good. You can see the LED strip. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. You can see the LED strip along the bottom there, and you can kind of see the diodes on each side. So it looks like it's going to be plenty bright. That's good. We also have got the OEM plug on that end, which is great, and some other brackets. So we will play with those when we get to that point. Let's see, anything else in the package? Doesn't look like it. A little piece of cardboard. Doesn't look like it. All right, so I don't see... Oh, it's in here with the hardware. Let's see how these instructions are laid out. Should be fairly straightforward, considering it's using the OEM plug, but let's find out.
A few moments later.
Wow, okay, only 2 pages. I like it. Let's get this guy cracked open and we'll get started. All right, and while we still have this off, or at least this nut off, let's see what size it's going to be. It looks like a 10. Oh, yep, it's an 8. And let's grab a screwdriver. Okay, I'm not going to get that too tight just because I don't know how tight or where that's exactly going to be laid out. So you're going to stay there. Okay, so we're going to set this guy aside for now, let it be, and let's move on to the taillight assembly. So this guy is going to sit like that. And we need the square head bolts. Pull these guys out of here. Interesting. Okay. So in the instructions, it shows that you're putting the tail light, you're putting the 2 M5 to the back of the tail light in the center too. But on the next step, it shows fix the taillight onto the rack with 7. So it looks like there may have been a misprint or something. So I'm gonna switch these. And if I find that I have done something wrong, I will obviously let you know and go back and correct it. So I've switched them to the outer two, as you can see here, instead of these inner two. And we're going to put these guys on the back. I would assume these are the same size. Yes, they are. Maybe. Yes, they are. Obviously, you can use the included wrench, but I have other tools, so I'm gonna go ahead and use those just to make my life just a little bit easier. I don't expect them to include a whole socket and ratchet, so good on them for including that. All right, that guy is snugly in place. So, looks like we're gonna head over to the bike. Let's grab our key and head over. All right, so here's the bike. Okay, so first and foremost, let's pull this guy out. It's just a little rubber grommet back here, lifts in the back and tabs in to the seat. And that's how we're gonna put it back, obviously, but we're gonna set this aside. So we don't need this for now. Put it somewhere where it's not going to get jostled in any way. So we've got our key. We're going to stick it in this guy, turn it. Oh, there we go. All right, so it unlatches at the front, if you can see that mechanism there. I'm just big dumb. There we go. All right, again, another one we're gonna set aside for now. So here we are. We've got everything in here. I also have my alarm system installed, so I've already had this apart. Okay, so let's go grab our tail light and our instructions. It looks like we're going to connect tail light's wiring harness, which is down on the swing arm, so we'll have to disconnect that. But for now, let's move over to step 6 and install the tail light. Where have you gone, hardware? Maybe I should do a little bit better job of keeping track of that. Okay. Okay, so they do not include the size you need for this guy here. So what size is you? You are a 13. All right, just keep that in mind. I might also grab, that'll be fine. It shows another set of panhead screws, but this is the only set of hardware that's left. At that, and they give you 4 of them. Oh well, more the merrier. Let's move over here. Okay, so after a little bit of playing around, I figured out what my problem is. First and foremost, pull this guy out. The cable will need to go down through this center hole as of right now. If I end up not having to do that, I will let you know, but for now, yes, it needs to go down through that center hole there. And it's going to look a little strange, but you have to kind of make sure you're not going to scratch your paint, but also slide it in between. There's some frame rails right under here that are a little hard to show you, but they run right through here. You are going to slide that bracket right in between the frame rail and the body. So it's going to sit right in there. However, one problem that I'm running into is these bolts are actually too large in diameter. So I'm going to find some other bolts that are going to fit in here. All right, guys, so this is the hardware that I ended up with. Let me get this out of here to avoid confusion. So I ended up, just because I am the way that I am, I, of course, found 2 bolts that'll fit along with their nuts. And I also got 2 washers to go on this side, just so I'm not doing any kind of damage to the bike, and a couple of lock washers, just so I'm not going to lose these bolts down the road. I'm going to see if I have any nylocks that'll actually fit, but this thread pattern. But for now, I'm just going to assume these lock washers are going to do just fine. Okay, so never mind. I actually found the nylocks I was looking for. So we're actually going to roll with these. I'm going to get it installed, and I'm going to find the correct size for each of these sides. So we're going to get to installing here in just a sec. Let's get that washer on. Put there and that, and then, whoa! Never to be seen again. And we will get this guy in here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna squeeze this washer up under there along with the lock nut. Okay, it's started on the threads. I'm gonna do the same for the other side. 2 sockets for the win, hell yeah. Okay. The reason I continue to use lock nuts is a mystery to me, but it's on, it's tight, and looks pretty sweet. I like it. Okay, so now the task is to cable manage. Let's see where and how we can get this cable to where it needs to go. Okay, so my GoPro's getting ready to die, but I wanted to keep you guys up to date on what exactly was going on here. So I have managed to cable manage this a little bit. So I used the stock clip here, so that plug won't move. I also used a zip tie where there was originally a zip tie down here on the swing arm, and just for a little bit of tension relief on this plug. So it loops around, comes up, follows along here, and I made sure it's not going to rub anywhere. You can kind of see it back here, I'm tugging on it. So it goes through that hole, comes up, and comes to right here. I also zip tied it there just in case, because I don't want it going anywhere. Clips under here and runs along and between this plastic and subframe and up underneath of here. So there you go. All right, so these guys, oh, by the way, I got this wire out. It's just a series of loops that it goes through in this piece here. I'm just gonna leave it here so I don't lose it. It's not ugly, it's just kind of pointless right now. It weighs nothing, so no reason to lose it. This is a T40. I am going to pull it off with these 3 bolts, and this whole assembly should just kind of come off. So I'll update you guys here in a second once I get these loose. Okay, so I figured out a issue or something that I screwed up. This bracket is supposed to go on the inside of this assembly bracket here. So just for your note, it goes on this side. And then this guy here is actually going to be turned at 90 degrees from where I had it, and is going to act as a stabilizer there. And it's gonna go right there where the old assembly was. Got that guy pulled off, sitting over here. So I'm gonna get this guy put together, tightened up, and get it aligned the way that I want it, and we should be in great shape. We should be about done after that. I'll see you guys after I get it installed. Well guys, here we are. And I gotta say, it looks super slick without that big old behemoth taillight section just eating up that whole rear section there. So, you know, it really does look great. I didn't dislike that old bracket. I didn't hate it, but seeing it like this with the exposed rear tire just makes it look all the better. So I'll catch you next time, guys. Hopefully a pipe will be on here next time. See you guys.